From Washington State, in alarming yet predictable news, the far-left Supreme Court has ruled that race should be considered when determining the legality of a police stop. Justice Mary Yu, who definitely wants you to know that she is the first Asian, the first Latina, and the first lesbian judge to serve on the Washington Supreme Court, said in her opinion, quote, "We formally recognize what has always been true. In interactions with law enforcement, race and ethnicity matter. Therefore, courts must consider the race and ethnicity of the alleged seized person as part of the totality of the circumstances when deciding whether there was a seizure." Now, in this particular case that presented for review, the suspect, Paula Sum, gave police a false name and date of birth, drove off as law enforcement checked for warrants, and then summarily crashed his car into a nearby yard. We're told that Mr. Sum would not have known that after the police determined his car was not stolen, he would be free to leave. So it's time for a refresher on the Fourth Amendment. The right of people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. Notice the amendment says people, not black people, white people, Asian people. It's all people. Rather than codify a separate parallel legal process predicated on one's race, America's legal system should treat everyone equally. Last I checked, the Equal Protection Clause already applies to everyone. Now, Sum's attorneys asked the court to adopt a new standard for illegal seizures that included whether or not a, quote, reasonable person observing an arrest is familiar with patterns of policing in America and the risks a person of color takes in walking away from or disregarding police interaction. That was the Washington Supreme Court's principal holding. They agreed with that argument, that it's about race first, that we don't treat people equally. I thought Lady Justice was supposed to be blind to these things, certainly blind to race. I think it's safe to say that any notion of like an activist leftist judge is entirely proven by this decision because it certainly wasn't fact-based. I will, as a member of the Judiciary Committee, always stand up for race-neutral laws and the application of our law totally disregarding the color of your skin or where you come from. In America, people deserve to be treated equally, and it's crazy that the Supreme Court of Washington State thinks otherwise.